Good evening, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about 3DS capture. Let's say you like shiny hunting, or you like playing 3DS games, DS games, whatever it is. You like playing games and you want to stream them. You want some way to capture them on your computer. Well, today we're going to show you how to do that beautifully. So here today we got the 3DS XL capture card. Then we have two DS capture cards, which I'm not going to talk about that much today, and the regular 3DS capture card. Now, let's clear out a lot of misconceptions. Lots of misconceptions. First thing, Katsukity did not make any capture boards. Katsukity did not make any software. That was all a lie. Katsukity was simply a distributor of capture cards. Who made the real capture cards? Optimize. Optimize is a Japanese seller that has been persuaded to continue selling these capture boards as they have been in high demand. So yeah, there are still ways to get these optimized capture cards. Second thing, which I'm going to talk about a lot, is which capture card is better, the Loopy 3DS or the Katsukity 3DS. Alright, so let's get into capture cards. There are two types. Actually, no, there's more like 7 types of 3DS capture cards. Let's start off with personally, the best one, the most favorite one, the one that everybody loves and that everybody wants. The Loopy 3DS capture card. Again, you can see this big back plate on my original 3DS. Down under the cartridge slot, you can see a micro USB port. Plugs in with a micro USB cable. The other one is a Katsukity original, or not Katsukity. Again, what I spoke before about the misconceptions and crap. You know what's going on. Optimize 3DS capture board. There is an optimized capture board for the original 3DS. It comes with a mini USB cable right about there, I believe. Right about there is where you stick in a mini USB. Unfortunately, it's on the front, so you're gonna have to like bend the cable around if you're using it on the front. The 3DS XL. There is only the optimized boards. I got one with a micro USB cable, which, I mean, I'm not too afraid of it. I don't think it's gonna fail ever because the only ones that failed were mini USB ones, which, I mean, those ones even then didn't fail nearly at all. It was just a couple, and it was probably just because the USB port failed. Again, mini USB tends to fail quite a bit after like serious usage. So micro USB, I don't mind at all. The only thing you should mind if it's micro USB is the new 3DS capture cards, which those ones have a slight tendency to fail. Again, I've talked to Murky and he got really mad at me. He was like, no, they're only about 0.3% of purchases that fail. I was like, it's not a bad number, you know? So, and you know, Murky, for the new 3DS capture cards, he offers a 2-year warranty. So if you're gonna buy those, I'd get them. I mean, the only thing that's different from the 3DS XL capture card and the new 3DS, or the new 3DS XL, new 2DS XL, whatever, is that the USB port is actually a separate board than the capture board, whereas in this capture card, the port is connected directly to the capture board. So that is the only real difference, and you shouldn't really worry about it. He offers warranty, and the percentage of failures are so low that I wouldn't stop you from getting an optimized new 3DS board. I I have the capture card set up. I don't know why I have the DS one. I have the DS ones running just to give them sort of like a benchmark. So we're going to hide those for right now, and we're just going to look at the 3DS capture card. So let's bring in the bottom one as well. 3DS bottom. And let's bring in, there we are. There's the bottom. This is the Loopy 3DS capture card. Now, if you look at the frame rate, there's almost no issue. It's very smooth. This was directly out of the box. If we go over to my, there we go. If we go over to my desktop, you can see here, this is the, I'm going to close out of this, and we're going to calibrate this later. Again, the Katsukity capture card is very hard to calibrate properly. But here's the Loopy capture card. Now, it's very simple. You have a split window button right here. This splits the windows. You can make it one window, which I do not like. I like the two windows because you can capture them separately. There is a lot of noise in my house, which I don't like. You've got a volume slider, extremely easy to use. I will turn on the volume now. So that's what the 3DS audio sounds like. Again, I'll turn it up all the way. There you go. So that's what the 3DS audio sounds like. Again, very clean. This is the Loopy capture card. Very clean, no issues. Beautiful frame rate. Again, this capture card is, in my opinion, miles better than the Katsukity capture card. So now we're gonna move over to the Katsukity capture card. If I go back into my scene, we're gonna pull up the Katsukity capture card now. Here it is. And we'll pull up the bottom as well. And there we are. So, the problem that I'm having is just the frame rate. It's not good at all. I'm on a USB 3.1 port, so as far as data transfer, it is on a completely separate bus alone. There is nothing else on this USB bus interfering with this capture card. This specific capture card is extremely picky. It doesn't like anything on its USB bus. Whereas the Loopy capture card, it has several things on its USB bus, and it still works just fine. Again, looking at the frame rate here, it's just not good. It's just stuttery, you can see it. I've been adjusting the clock. I've adjusted the clock, and this is the best I could get it. It's just not great. Again, it's about as fast as I can get it. So now let's go into some 3DS games. So we're gonna launch up Ultra Moon on our regular 3DS, and we'll launch Ultra Sun on the XL, and we'll show you them side by side. Because again, for me, oh, it says no signal and no valid data. So again, this happens a lot, where the system or the viewer window just, okay, we got it to boot up. But again, the frame rate here. We'll check. So here's me just running around, and you can see it's it's fairly stuttery, whereas in the left, there may be a few frame skips here and there, but it's not anything that I would be, be annoyed by, whereas in the Katsukity capture card, or sorry, Optimize, gotta make that difference noticeable, it's clear to me that the frame rate is just not stacking up. Now, what I can do is I can go and limit it to 30. So this is 30 FPS. And so while that makes it a tiny bit smoother, the frame skips are just awful. It doesn't get rid of the frame skips. So, and again, I've tried going in the settings in the viewer window and adjusting thread priority to... Alright, that's kind of all I have to say about this. I'm quite actually very disappointed by the, again, no shot at the installer whatsoever. It's not the installer's fault. It's just the software. It's not optimized very well. The settings are confusing, and I'm just not getting a great frame rate out of it. To me, the loopy one is just miles ahead. Miles ahead. And the sound as well. You want to hear the sound out of this? I'll turn the sound off on the loopy one. And we'll go to... That's the sound out of... That's the sound. You can hear it. This is the sound coming from the cable. Both are coming from the cable. And this is the sound we're getting. So it's pretty clear to me which is the better capture card. I just, maybe I'm stupid. I've tried going to configure. I've tried going to figuring the size adjustment. I'm on dot by dot times 1x. I'm at 50-50 ratio, no rotation. Again, it's like, to me, this is just not great. It's not good. Maybe I'll come back. I'll make an update video on this. But to me, it's playable, and I'll use it, but it's clear to me that the loopy one is better. So I've changed my mind. Completely changed my mind. Again, you're still not gonna get a sound, so you're still not gonna get sound out of this, but what I found is that going to File, Transfer Mode, Configure, Transfer Mode, and disabling the sound, so going to 60 FPS, and then you can wait for the VSync on your monitor, but I don't need that. And of course, play around with the clock settings. Do all you need to do with that. So we're gonna go to dot by dot 3 times, just so you can see this a little bit better. And again, the frames are perfect. I am literally sitting at 60 FPS. And there's no frame droppage whatsoever. So again, we're perfect. Looks like. I'm gonna test the sound, and let's hear it. So actually, no, I literally just said there's no sound. So again, if you want to play music in the background or something, or you can capture sound out of the headphone jack into your mic in on your computer. So that's another way you can capture sound. Again, I'm not going to use sound from this because I have another 3DS capture card. But yeah, the frame rate is beautiful. So we're going to test this out on the home menu and see what we can do. One last thing I want to say about the 3DS capture cards is that on both of these capture cards, actually, It's just loading into the home screen. That's why it says no signal. And 60 out of 60, yep. And, oh my goodness. Oh, that was just the loading. Okay. So yeah. Wow, that actually helped so much. Wow. Just doing that made this literally beautiful. Yeah, this is almost perfect. I'm loving this. I'm loving the pixels. This is great. This is great. Unfortunately, no sound, but I don't need sound. So yeah. So let's go through the DS capture, because you're gonna want to know how to do DS capture. So let's make this dot by dot 1 times, and we will open up the other 3DS capture. Because again, Loopy, I would recommend getting a Loopy capture card if you have the original 3DS. So let's turn this on, and we'll get some volume going as well. So, to enter, we have Pokemon Heart Gold right here. So to enter Pixel Perfect mode, you obviously, most of you should know how to do this. You hold start and you launch the game. Hold start, launch the game. And there we go. Pixel Perfect mode is activated. So for Loopy, literally all you have to do is right click, display type, and then go down to DS 1 by 1 or 1 to 1 ratio. You do this, bang, perfect DS capture. For Katsukity, we're going to go to my Twilight menu because I don't have it forwarded to the main menu. So again, hold start, press A. It's going to give you no signal for a little bit. And there we are. There's Twilight menu. And then we're going to go to configure and expand the 256 by 192 times 2 window. This is going to give you perfect DS capture. So, bang. And again, the colors should be fine. They look pretty much the same. There's a little bit of distortion in the colors. Again, I've tried adjusting the clock as much as I could. And this is the best I could get it. Again, the colors on the Loopy 3DS are just going to be better. But thanks to that transfer mode adjustment, the frame rates are the same. And I will definitely be very excited to use this capture card now. So yeah, there's Pokemon Heart Gold. And again, the colors don't bother me that much. It's a little bit brighter, there's more saturation, but again, it's not going to bother me as long as the frame rate is 60 out of 60, which I can just do this. And yep, 60 out of 60. There is no frame droppages. So yeah, thoughts. The Loopy 3DS board is definitely better. Here's why. Here's why. Before you get pissed at me, anybody who defends their optimized capture boards, here's why. What I found is that using multiple capture cards, the Loopy 3DS has no issues whatsoever. No issues whatsoever using multiple ports on a USB 3.0 bus. The optimized capture board is extremely picky. Extremely picky. If you have anything, almost anything on the same USB bus as this capture card, then it'll say no valid signal in the viewer window. So again, this one's just so much easier to use. I had to set this up to my front panel USB 3.1 connectors because it just would not load no matter what bus I put it in. I put it in my USB 3.2 Gen 2 ports. And even when I just had a mouse, my mouse connected to the other USB 3.2 Gen 2 port, this would not load in the viewer window. So, I don't know. Third thing, video quality. You can adjust the clock as much as you want. This simply will not capture as good of colors, just colors, as the Loopy capture card. Again, frame rate, this is where it gets a little interesting. If you want sound out of this through the USB port, if you want sound out of the USB port, you are going to have to suffer frame rate loss. This, there's none. No frame rate loss. This has 60 FPS, barely ever loses it. Sound works beautifully. You want sound out of this, frame loss, and the sound's gonna sound awful. Just saying. So, what I recommend doing is doing what I do. I'll show you in the guide when I get to that point. But again, these, much easier to find, but more expensive, not as good. As far as colors and audio, these, extremely hard to find. Again, the only reason I have this right now is because I sent it in personally and paid personally. So, that's that. How do we purchase these? Let's go to my display and we'll show you. So, for Loopies, go to 3dscapture.com and here it is. Here's the capture board. Go to the order page, and he doesn't have them right now, but, well, he actually does. He has them right now, he just hasn't put them up for purchase, so hopefully he will put them up for purchase soon. Again, that's how I got mine installed. I sent it to him personally. Do not do this. Do not do this. The only reason I sent it to him personally was because we had a conversation going, and we were talking about installs and stuff. Just do not send him your 3DS personally. Purchase this, and then send it to him. Here's the DS Capture if you want to get a DS Capture card. These are readily available, so. 4 Katsukity boards, or optimized boards. We're going to go to my Twitter. Oh, you're going to see my Twitter. Oh my gosh. Yes, just don't pay attention to that. And I got my capture card from Evo. Oh god, it's going to show some information. But he is currently not installing capture cards at the moment. I think he might do one more batch of 3DS capture cards. Paul, my good friend Paul, we talk a lot about installation, soldering, and stuff. So Paul Ganjona2 on Twitter, message him. Look at he's doing SNES on a DS. He retweeted EDP for president. EDP for president, by the way. Look, he has the dual SNES setup. That's sick. He does a lot of, and then he's got the DS capture cards. He does a lot of optimized boards installations. So go ahead and message him. He's in the US. Again, Murky, I think, is taking a break right now. I don't think Murky is installing capture cards. But he is, look, DM for DS/3DS capture card information. I think he actually has boards right now, so if you want to go ahead and message him right now, go ahead, and you can pay him through PayPal. So, that's how you would get these optimized boards installed. So, yeah, that's all the purchasing information you probably need. Yeah, that is great. That's going to do it for the video. And hope this helped you out. And I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Peace out.